Hey YouTube, I am installing a phone mount in my Honda Ridgeline. It's a 2014 Ridgeline. They have these cool phone mounts on Amazon. It's an aluminum base, anodized aluminum base with a rubber ball, and it's compatible with RAM mounts. Everybody's probably familiar with RAM mounts. And then to go with it, I got an aluminum arm. None of this is made by RAM, by the way. It's just all RAM compatible. An aluminum arm with a safety Torx in there, so no one can steal it. But not really worried about anybody stealing out of my truck. I just like the low profile. I like the look of it, how everything's flush. And then to top it all off, they got these. I forget what they called it. But it's a wireless charger. It's a QI charger, so I'm not sure where I'm gonna put the wiring yet, but I always keep my phone on the left because I'm a motorcyclist and I use my phone with my left hand, because you gotta keep your hand on the throttle on a motorcycle. So that's where it's going. To get that in there, I had to take the dash out so I could figure out where it's going, where I had room to, boy, I can't get the light where I need it. Okay, so I had room to get my hands, I can get in here to get the nuts on there, but also, and it's not even the same company, it's cool, this is a standardized component, if I can find it. Not even the same company that makes that ball mount, but there are these plates, and that hole spacing is a standard. I forget what it's called. So this is going to go right into the bottom, and it'll be fastened to the metal plate, and the dash will be a sandwich instead of being, you know, just washers under there. We'll have this great big plate to spread the load out, which I like very much. And this is galvanized. I'm using stainless Allen bolts with pan heads on there, so they'll look pretty nice. I wish this was countersunk. If it was countersunk, you know, to use countersunk screws, it would look really nice. But you gotta use what you got, I guess. So this will go in here if I can ever find it again. And these are 5mm by, I don't know, 0.7 maybe. And then the trick to getting those drilled, because there's no room to get a drill in there, is I use this angled device, and I use the HEX SHANK drill. So it's like a bit driver to get in there and drill each of those holes out. And for a 5mm screw, you need a 3/16 drill bit. And it just barely doesn't clearance, so these are actually threaded into the plastic. If you wanted to clearance them and have it slide in a little better, 13/64 is the right size for that, but I don't mind them kind of threading in and holding everything together. It was nice because it held it in place while I screwed the other holes. But what's also nice is the texture on this dashboard is linear, so I was able to line up the sides of the base plate here as I drilled, so it's at least square to something. Even though the dashboard is all tilted and everything, the base plate is at least square to something. It's square to the pattern on the dashboard. So that's that for my phone mount. Still got the stock stereo and stock power outlets, but what I discovered is that those thread-in power outlets like you use on boats and motorcycles, these holes are almost perfectly sized for those. It's a 3cm hole. This is like a fraction of a millimeter smaller than 3 centimeters. I was actually able to push a couple of them in here to fit. These come out pretty easy. You just gotta release some pins to get the metal piece out, and then 2 more pins gets the plastic ring out, and then those slide right in. These already have blade lugs on them, the connectors. You just have to depin the ground, because the plug in these is like a T shape, and the ones in those is usually side by side, they're like parallel. So those are going to go in there. I'll put a voltmeter here. I'll put a nice charger here with USB-Cs. They got them with 2 USB-Cs, 2 USB 3s, and a power button and a backlight, so you can turn it off if you're not using it, which I probably won't be using it too much because I've got the wireless charger to keep the phone charged. I'll need it for my Bluetooth adapter for a little while until my new stereo shows up, because that I got to recharge occasionally. But once the new stereo shows up, I won't even need that anymore, and these will just be, you know, for passengers, for just in case scenarios. But I thought you'd like that. I thought about putting the phone over here, because that's where most people would probably put it, and it would have to go like right here. But number one, it was a little bit harder to get my hands in there. I thought it might be okay, but number two, I really don't use the phone with that hands. I really prefer it on the left. I guess any motorcyclist would understand that, and maybe lefties would understand it. All right, that's all. Have a good one.